2, and we are live. And I hope
Hi.
everyone hears us this time, because last 2 weeks ago was a little bit of a disaster. If you can't hear me, pop something in the chat, or if you can't hear our guest, which I will introduce, pop it in the chat. I am looking at the chat right now, so everything should be fine. That was a little bit of my panic rant, and let's actually start. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Cyberside Chats. I have lost count. It's probably the 7,433 episode. I have a very interesting guest, as always. Um, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name again, but I will try anyway. Ionut Colcear.
Yes, there you go. I'm proud, Tjitske. Good job. Not a lot of people get that right, but yeah,
We
you were spot on.
Thank you, Jacko89. Audio's good. Thank you for letting us know because now I can fully relax. Um, Thanks everyone for coming. We, me and Yunus met a few months ago actually already in Tallinn, and I really wanted to have a chat with him because he's a very interesting person, and I thought it would be great for these types of chats. So, welcome to this amazing chat. I always love doing these things because it's not only about like letting our customer show the customers the people behind the scenes of Malwarebytes, but also our own employees who are all over the world. Give them a little bit of introduction to who they're actually working with, maybe over Zoom or even on Slack. So this is why I love these things. So, welcome. Do you want to talk a little bit about yourself? Who are you? Where you're from? And most importantly, how did you get into cybersecurity and with that into Malwarebytes?
Sure. So, hi everybody. My name is Ionut Colcear. I'm a senior software engineer at Malwarebytes. I am Romanian, but I live in the Netherlands now. And I work on the Malwarebytes for Windows product. And for your second question, you said how did I join cybersecurity? That's a little bit interesting. So I decided after university and actually after my master's degree, I decided that I wanted to do something different because
Oh,
I initially studied biology and then medical biology in my master's degree.
wow.
But felt like was not exactly what I wanted to do. So I started a programming course back in Romania called Junior Mind. And after a long, I mean, not that long because it was quite enjoyable. I fell in love with programming immediately. But after 9 to 10 months of doing that, I had the skills sharp enough to land a junior position here at Malwarebytes. And yeah, ever since then, I've been in cybersecurity.
I love it. And this is one of the things that I love about these conversations as well, because the majority of people that I have quote unquote interviewed did not study cybersecurity. Like we've had somebody, Peter, who was on a few weeks ago, studied, I can't even pronounce it, geodesy. We've had David on who studied journalism. I studied physiotherapy. Now I have a biology major. And this is what makes it
Oh,
so
cool.
great because we look at this is the great thing because we do look at things in a different way. Um, how did you get to Malwarebytes? Like, was it a company that you had looked into before, or did they come to you?
So basically the timing was pretty good because
Hmm.
by the end of that programming course I was taking, which had some previous connections with Malwarebytes was looking for a junior engineer for their privacy VPN product.
Hmm.
And I applied for that, and people like me and the prototype that I did for the interview. And yeah, that
Cool.
was pretty much it.
So you build a
It was
prototype for the
lucky
interview.
timing.
Cool. Yeah, but like if things all fall apart, so you had to build a prototype for for the whole interview process.
Yes, I
Cool,
had to build a prototype antivirus software user
cool.
interface.
I love that
Uh,
because we were talking
yeah.
about Jaeger about different types of interviews and the whole process in Malwarebytes and how different it is in engineering. So that's why I'm asking. I find it very interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting for me as well, and I think actually the way it went is like the hiring manager at the time wanted to look back at my portfolio, but because
Hmm.
I was just starting getting into the field, and this being my first interview in software, I didn't really have a portfolio to show. So then they
Mm.
proposed, okay, maybe you can take a couple of weeks and build a user interface as like a project. So I did that, and they liked it.
That's
It had
brilliant,
dark
though.
mode, which is super important.
I do really like that because, we do see a lot of, recruitment ads that ask for junior positions, ask like, 10 years of experience, but you can't be older than
Yeah.
21 or something like that. So I do find it lovely that like, despite you not having like the experience that maybe was needed for this job, they gave you a chance to prove that you would be great for this job. So I absolutely love that. A little bit of credit to the person who hired you and also to your prototype, of course. A little bit
Shout out
of
Tegan.
a little bit of cybersecurity. What are your
Yeah.
main types of interest? What would you be passionate about? What would you be interested in when it comes to cybersecurity and privacy?
Well, when it comes to cybersecurity and privacy, it's a very wide field, and also it has multiple facets to it. So I tend to follow a bunch of topics like newly discovered vulnerabilities that people
Hmm.
are talking about, how those vulnerabilities ended up happening from a technical perspective, like what were the bugs or errors that were exploited, in order
Hmm.
to enable certain exploits. Now there's also the similar to this. There's the reverse engineering realm where people take malware samples and reverse engineer and see
Hmm.
how they work and how they evolve over time. Um, but on the other end of the spectrum, there's the whole scam industry
Hmm.
and social engineering and nowadays with AI, with generative video and audio, this field has really exploded, and you hear stories more and more often of, I don't know, accountants being fooled into transferring
Hmm.
money or stuff like that. So yeah, and also I like to keep up with hacking news because it's kind of fun to see like what the hackers do, and at the same time a little concerning, but that's the double-edged sword, which is cybersecurity. Yeah,
Know your enemy, right? So, like, we need to
yeah,
keep an eye
exactly.
on them, and they will keep an eye on us. I do find it very
Yeah.
interesting what you're saying about scam industry. Like, I was saying this to my husband the other day as well. I work in a food bank once a week, and the people I work with are all ladies that are 70 plus years old. And what I loved, they had this conversation about like AI and how scams are getting more and more sophisticated. And I think I felt so comfortable in that situation because like I didn't really had to, they were discussing it and I didn't really have to go like, oh, but you have to be very careful. So they are aware that things are changing, and that one of their biggest fears indeed that we can't tell anymore what is real and what is not real, like with many things that AI brings, of course, but especially when it comes to scams where people who work in our industry have been tricked, for instance, because we are also working in like an industry that is fast pacing and like we're always busy, and sometimes you can drop the ball, and because they're also real. And is that also like one of the reasons, like, why you're here? Like, is that also your passion? Like, helping people, making sure that, we're here to help out and we're here to help out fighting these bad guys.
Yeah, of course. That's one of the nice things in having this job and working for a cybersecurity company. That is that you know that your work actually helps people and tries to protect them from
Yeah.
bad guys. And in 2026, when everything is hard to tell apart, it's hard to keep track of, it's hard to follow. Even if you're in the field, like you were
Hmm.
saying, we're all humans and we can all be distracted for a second and not pay attention and click on something. Or
Hmm.
we can all be distracted for a second and not pay attention that the confirmation email was impersonating a
Yeah.
legit company you were expecting an email from. So uh, we're all human is the
Yeah.
point, and we can be perfect, but we try, at least here we try to automate as many of the protections we
Hmm.
can, and for the rest of them we try to educate and give features which help our users better manage all of these risks and dangers of modern day online life.
And what does a day in the life of an engineer at Malwarebytes look for you?
For me specifically, so it definitely starts with coffee number one. Need to boot up my
Promising.
brain in the morning. I mean, yeah. And yeah, then it usually starts with catching up with emails and Slack
Hmm.
messages because we work with a lot of people from the US. So
Yeah.
there's a bit of a backlog to be had in the morning. Then I usually do code reviews for my teammates while everyone is still not tired and we can all communicate and stuff like that. Then I usually take a quick break for coffee number two before I actually get started coding because I don't
Mhm.
like getting interrupted once I actually get
I get that.
in the
Yeah.
zone. Um, and yeah, then by the end of the day, it's usually a few more daily meetings and feature planning meetings in which we refine the new things coming. And yeah, at the end, usually pizza. I love me some pizza.
Well, hey, we all have to nourish ourselves, and if pizza is your poison of choice, like I do love a good pizza. You were talking about like um, you wake up, you start going through the backlog, and this is what I love about working for an international company is that we're busy in different time zones. So like
Yeah.
when something happens, there's always somebody awake. There's always somebody on the ball. So if something happens, we're there, right? Which is what I love. Like sometimes it's a little bit more complicated when it comes to these things. We have to do things a little bit later here in Europe, but that's all fine, I think. You work for Malwarebytes for a few years right now. Like, what do you like most about your job right now?
Hmm. There's a lot of things that I like about my job, but I think if I were to pinpoint one, and this is also the reason why I joined this industry, is uh, working with really smart people.
Yeah.
Like this was what my motivation for learning programming and getting into this industry. Um, I was a bit frustrated with by working with people that were not that smart and were annoying. So I was like, okay, I need to find something where I can work with smart people, where I always have something more to learn or
Yeah.
different perspectives to discuss. And yeah, I'm very fortunate that here at Malwarebytes I work with a bunch of extremely talented and smart people. Um, and yeah, I still experience from them as much as I can.
And I think they will say the same from you. And this is genuinely what
Possibly,
I've
yeah.
heard. And generally what I heard from the engineers that I chatted with is that sense of, kind of brotherhood, right? Like we all learn from each other. Um, there's a whole atmosphere where people can, give feedback and receive feedback and learn because everyone knows who everyone is. So I love that. And I love that. Like, I work in a marketing team, which is absolutely amazing. I love my team, but I also love the engineering team in Malwarebytes because of this, right? Because every single one that I talk to says it's such an amazing team to work for.
It is, it is. And the nice thing about it is that uh, aside from working with some odd people, in our team, there is you get presented with ownership over what you are
Yeah.
building, more than just, okay, what you are building. If you have an opinion or if you have certain feedback about what you think our users would like better or what you
Hmm.
think something would make more sense in a certain situation, it's uh, most of the time it's being listened. I mean, it's always being listened to,
Yeah.
and most of the time it's actually taken into consideration. And a lot of my decisions can actually shape the direction of of a certain feature or something, which is nice because the more perspectives you have on something, I've noticed that the
Hmm.
more better the end result becomes. So yeah, that is something that's quite nice.
I totally agree. I think like diversity of opinions and backgrounds make a product and features better. Like we all have different ways to look at things based on whatever we have in our heads. And I think it really, really works to create amazing products. And this is, I never want to sound like an ad for Malwarebytes, but this is, I think, one of the reasons why our product is indeed so good. Um, do you do one of the things I always ask people who join is because I experience this a lot. Are you kind of like the help desk for your family and friends? Are you the person that people call freaked out over something? And how do you deal with it?
Yeah, I think I've always been that guy.
Hmm. Hmm.
Even though it's an annoying position to be in sometimes because
Hmm.
you just want to be left alone, but at the same time, like for my parents, I've definitely always, and for my family, I've already been the tech support
Yeah.
guy. Um, and also for my friends as well, because I've always been
Hmm.
passionate about tech, not just software. I've also been passionate about hardware, and I've always kept up with mm, new developments in tech.
Hmm.
So inevitably, you become the tech support guy. I guess from experience, it's like, okay, you can fix someone's problem when they come to you with a problem, and then they're gonna come again when the same
Yeah.
problem happens, you know. I think it's a better approach is to try to educate people
Hmm.
on certain topics. You can't do this with every single situation,
Hmm.
but if, I don't know, um, something is wrong with one of my parents' computers and it's not malware or something, it's
Hmm.
just something, maybe their disk is full, right?
Hmm.
Alongside wiping unnecessary things, you can also tell them, look, this happened because your disk got full. This means that
Hmm.
usually in this scenario, you can fix it yourself by doing X and Y. And I've noted that with this approach, it over time it helps uh,
Yeah.
reduce the
Reduce the
number of
tickets.
support. Yeah, reduce the tickets. Exactly, exactly.
What would be like, because you say like it's the same kind, people do go to friends of you also go to you for advice. What would be like the number and one advice that you've heard yourself given out to family and friends when it comes to cybersecurity, but also when it comes to technology?
Well, when it comes to cybersecurity, I think the best advice I could give is don't trust anything. Be
Yeah.
suspicious about literally everything. If
Hmm.
something sounds even a tiny bit too good to be true, it
Yeah.
probably is. So, yeah, this is a skill that gets sharpened over time, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I would advise most people. Don't believe your eyes, don't believe your ears, because you can't do that anymore.
Hmm.
Question everything, double check everything, especially when it comes to either your personal data, especially when it comes to your personal data,
Yeah.
because that you should guard it with your life because it literally is, right? Um,
Hmm.
and we us in the industry we're well aware of all the kinds of identity theft that can happen, or financial fraud that can happen
Yeah.
in your name, stuff like that. So if you get some email or some phone call or something that is asking you for your personal info, especially if it has like an urgent tone to it,
Yeah.
that's the biggest red flag you can hear, because that's how they usually get people. Like they put pressure on them. It's always urgent. It needs to happen
Hmm.
immediately, such that you don't have time to think and question what is happening. So yeah, question everything, double check everything, and yeah,
When in doubt,
if it's
ask.
even slightly sus, ignore
Yeah.
it.
No, absolutely. And I think it's great advice. And for me, always as well, if you're not sure, have somebody else look at it. Even if somebody is not a
Yeah.
specialist, like it's always good to just have another set of eyes on these things and see like, oh, is there something that and like as always, I want to emphasize this. We're here. Like we're not just here if you have an issue with malware or anything like that. If there is something that you're not sure of, you can just send us a message on social, and we have a lot of, as you know, said, we have a lot of really smart people that can just look at it and tell you if something is real or fake. And I kind of want to
And
do.
also we are kind of building things which can give a second opinion, if I
That was
may
my segue.
I stole it.
No, it's fine because we were talking. I wanted to ask you, like, what is your favorite program? What is your favorite feature? And we, I think, very recently released a scam guard for desktop. So I wanted to have your opinion on that because I think it's amazing, and everyone else, like, I keep talking about it
Sure.
way too much. But like, what would be your favorite program and why? And what would be your favorite feature and why?
Oh, this is gonna sound so biased, and it is, but yeah. Is there, well, my favorite product that we offer at Malwarebytes is definitely the Malwarebytes for Windows app, just because I've been working on it for 5 years. This is not to uh, ignore our other apps for
Hmm.
our other platforms. I use the Android app as well. I have
Yeah.
friends which have the iOS app and the Mac apps installed. We offer a very good suite, but because I work on the Windows product, the Windows product is the best. Kidding. But the reason being, like over the past few years, we've worked very hard in building new features that
Hmm.
actually provide a lot of value to all of our users, not
Yeah.
necessarily just our premium users.
Hmm.
Um, People know that we have like uh, very good scanning and real-time protection capabilities. They've been proven over and over through
Hmm.
third-party reviews and stuff like that. But we also wanted to address um, certain situations that people can need tools for into their
Hmm.
day-to-day life, which are not strictly just about malware. So one of my favorite features, and this is recency bias because I worked on it quite recently at the end of last year, and I wanted to segue into it, is ScamGuard. Now, this
Yeah.
is an interesting discussion, especially in the whole context of AI nowadays.
Hmm.
So let me just explain what ScamGuard is for people that don't know. ScamGuard is an AI-powered chatbot that also has a few tricks up its sleeve, and its purpose is exactly to replace the tech support guy in your
Hmm.
family with something that can give a second opinion, an educated opinion on certain things, such that my mom doesn't have to call me every time she gets a weird email, right? That becomes annoying at some point. So we developed
We love you,
ScamGuard. So
Mom.
Scam, yeah, love you, mom. Um, so ScamGuard is supposed to be a solution to this. Like
Hmm.
you receive an email or a text or something. You could
Hmm.
just screenshot that email and send it to ScamGuard, and it's gonna analyze it for you. And additionally, it's gonna pull all the metadata from that email and cross-check it with our own known bad or known good databases of URLs, email addresses, phone
Hmm.
numbers, etc., such that um, it can give you that second opinion. Okay, does this seem legit, or is this a known bad email address from some scam group somewhere,
Hmm.
or is a certain URL being uh, impersonated with
Hmm.
letters that look the same as other letters. So lowercase l would look like uppercase I,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Scammer could pick up on that and tell you like, okay, maybe we don't know about this URL. It hasn't been reported yet or detected
Hmm.
yet, but it uses this technique that is used by
Hmm.
scammers to mislead you into thinking this is a legit website. So um, this is why we built this feature, and we have many users which are happily using it. But
Hmm.
also, there's been a very interesting shift in public opinion recently about AI. And I know people have been complaining that, okay, there's AI everywhere. We're sick of AI, and trust me, I'm one of those
Yeah.
people. I have AI burnout as well. I'm
Yeah.
kind of looking forward for the bubble to pop and PC
Hmm.
hardware to go down in price again because I'm a gamer. But there is also, so we've gotten feedback from users that okay, why is Malwarebytes going the AI route? Why are you adding AI features? And it's an interesting position to be in because on one hand, we're not trying to force these features
Hmm.
on anyone, and on the other hand, we have people that actually find a lot of use from
Yeah.
them, right? For example, I showed my mom ScamGuard, and I told her every time you get an email that looks weird, make a screenshot,
Hmm.
put it in there, see what it says. Um, and she's been doing that since, and I haven't gotten like requests to, can you take a look at this for me? You know? So yeah, it's interesting, and
Yeah.
we're living in interesting times as well.
Hmm.
How there's so much the accelerator pedal on this technology has been pushed so far, but
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
same time, the public is now taking a step back and be like,
Hmm.
no, we don't want to hear about AI anymore for good reason. I get it. It's
Yeah.
just interesting.
And I like it that I actually love it that you're bringing this up because it's something that we've been talking about internally for a while now, indeed. And it's a choice, right? I mean, ScamGuard is not forced upon you, but it's there for you if you need it. And the good thing for these, what I think the good, especially when it comes to ScamGuard, which is like the main, the main AI in our product, that it's not just AI. It just
Yeah.
pulls not it just pulls knowledge from all our information that we have from 20 years of fighting malware and fighting scams and fighting phishing. So it's not just it's pulling from a random database somewhere online because this is how something sometimes things people think it like that it happens, but it really pulls from what we know, what we've
Yep.
experienced, what we've seen. It sees patterns, like you said, like the lowercase l, the I. It sees the patterns, and it doesn't always give you like a definitive reason, a definitive answer, going like, especially when it's very complicated. But it will give you that. It gives you that pause, and it gives you that. I should
Yep.
maybe. I'm not sure. Let's find a different route to get the information that I need, or call my bank instead of just clicking on this link. And that's what I love. It's not
Absolutely.
giving you that. no, this is not it, but it explains why it's giving you this answer. And I don't know where I was going, but yeah, I think that's the great part. It's there if you want to use it, if it makes your life easier, but you do not have to use it if it doesn't. And I think
Yeah.
for you and your mom, it has been, and me, and it has
And
been,
myself, I use it
yeah,
too because I have Malwarebytes installed on my personal PC, and
we
I
use
had
it.
this experience a few months ago. I was trying to sell a graphics card on Marktplaats in the
Matt yeah.
Netherlands. Yeah, and I posted that, and within like 5 minutes, I got an email of someone being
Mm-hmm.
interested, and I already want to transfer you the money, blah blah blah. And it looked legit. Everything looked
Mm-hmm.
so legit. But I was a little suspicious about it because I had just posted it in like 3 minutes
Yeah.
ago, right? So I was like, okay, let me put this into ScamGuard real quick and see what it tells me. And it detected that it was already flagged in one of our databases that that URL was malicious. So I was like, phew.
Yeah. And it saves you time.
Even though I know what to look for, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have internal trainings as well about
Yeah.
how to not get phished and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I know what to look for, but nowadays the scams are getting so, I don't want to say flawless, but as close as flawless they can be, the more advanced ones, that yeah, it's hard to tell. So having something like this can just double check real quick for you is a huge help.
Saves time and saves, probably save money and save your data.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, we're at the end of our chat.
Oh wow, that was
Yeah,
so
I
quick.
think I have another 6 hours of food for thought that we could talk about. But as I thought this was a great conversation, thank you so much for
Thank you
signing
too.
up, for being here, for chatting to us about your passion, about what you do, and giving us a few advice and talking about. I genuinely love it that you talked that last bit about AI. I think that was very important to get that out as well. Um, Thank you everyone for watching, who's watching right now, who will be watching later. We'll be back in what are we? 2 weeks, I think. 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks. I can't remember. It's on the 3rd of March. Oh man. 3rd of March, we're back with Shahak. Shahak will be talking to us about scams, and we'll be talking about the difference in developing cybersecurity products and privacy products for enterprises and for customers, and what is important, how difference in importance and difference in language, etc. Don't know if that was a long sentence, but anyway, thank you so much everyone for watching. Thank you, Units, for being here. And I hope everyone has a great day, and I hope everyone has a great week. See you at the next one. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Yes, we can breathe again.